What's going on, people? So, I saw a quote by Tony Robbins that I wanted to talk about. And I don't really follow him, but I've seen like a lot of his stuff online, and sometimes I look at it. It's interesting. Nothing I really, you know, look at every day. But I saw a really cool quote that he said, and it was along the lines like, people aren't lazy, but there's not people are not lazy, but there's nothing inspiring them. Like, in other words, that's not the exact quote, but that's basically what the quote was saying. People are not lazy. It's that there's the goals that they have are not inspiring them to move or to act, and to succeed. I agree with this to an extent. I like it. The quote attracted me because it makes a lot of sense. Like, if you think about it from that perspective, like, if I'm 400 pounds and my goal is not to be 120 pounds, am I going to lose this weight? Because everybody around me makes me feel like I need to be 120 pounds, but inside, I don't want to be 120 pounds. I'm happy with myself. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's the difference between somebody who does lose the weight and somebody who doesn't. Like, I've seen, everybody has seen those, those things on your Facebook feed. 700-pound girl. I just saw one the other day. 700-pound girl eats, and is happy. Like, and then another one I saw, the girl got a husband to cook for her. That was, she's good being 700 pounds. Like, so that quote really makes a lot of sense to me, and I'm internalizing it, and going to internalize it daily, because I'm going to check myself. I'm going to use that quote to check myself when I'm not, excuse me, my nose ring. I'm going to use that quote to check myself. Like, if I'm not feeling motivated, what is the problem? I really like that quote. I really like it. It's really good. It makes sense. Then I saw another interview with him. He said, when he was growing up, his mom wanted him to be a truck driver. Everybody's parents has an idea for them and what they think they should be. Like, for a long time, I regretted not doing what my mom wanted me to be. Like, she wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer. That was it. A doctor or a lawyer. Out of all the occupations in the world, that's all she wanted me to do, was one of those. And that's a pretty, tough, that's a pretty hie bar to reach, and at 17 to 16 years old, I remember I graduated high school early. I wanted to get out. I wanted to go to college. And graduating at 16 wasn't good enough for her. I feel like, oh my God, I graduated early. That was all I wanted to do at 16. I couldn't imagine aspiring to be a doctor or a lawyer at 16. Like, is that even realistic? Do I even know what doctors and lawyers do at 16? Is that a realistic expectation to put on your children at that age? Because we don't even really know what that is. Most of us don't. Some of us do. People who have maybe doctors for parents probably know what that is. My parents weren't doctors. So I don't know what a doctor, I know I went to a doctor, but nowhere in my mind was I thinking, I'm going to be a doctor. I wanted to be a veterinarian because I liked animals, but I was scared of dogs. Now I'm not. But at the time, I wanted to be a veterinarian because I liked animals. That's people's mindset when they're that age. Oh, I like this. I want to do that because I can work with them. But in reality, that may be horrific for somebody who likes animals, because they're going to see animals bleeding, dying. That may not be the right route for that person. Right? So, never became a doctor. Tried a little bit of law classes. I found it to be so boring. I was like, oh my God, this is nothing at all what I thought it was going to be like. Like, your perception and your imagination is very different from what it actually is. Reality check. So you have to try things. You have to try things out to know for sure. Is this for me? It's good. It's good to do that. Or read about it. Like, I even read a book about like family lawyers, people who like lawyers that deal with divorce and things like that. I was like, oh, this is cool, but it's still not the same because you have to take classes that have nothing to do with what you want to do, and you have to get through that. Some people can do it. Some people are like, this is a waste of my time and my money. I'm uninterested. Like, if I'm not interested in something, I don't even want to waste my time. Like, I value my time. Some people don't. Some people do. Some people, you know, everybody thinks differently, I guess. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to use that quote to check myself. I think you should too. I think you should be checking yourself. You should be going, if I feel like crap when I get out of bed in the morning, sometimes I do. Like, we all go through that. I mean, there's been so many mornings where I'm just like, oh my God, I have to get up and brush my teeth. I have to get up and all these things ahead of, you know, in the day that seem so, even though they're like little tasks, they seem so heavy. It's because you're just feeling like shit. So it's not that those things are hard. You know, going to put gas in your car shouldn't be so stressful. It's not really the action of putting the gas in the car. It's you. Like, it's how you're feeling. And you feel like, you know, I find that, I was talking about how important it was in my other video. I was talking about how important it is to have the ride with me video when I was in the car. It's really important to have something going on outside of work. You know, like, I feel like when I have those moments, I'm not paying attention to my art. I'm not giving what I love to do enough attention. I'm neglecting those things, and I'm, you know, giving all of myself to, you know, what it is that pays the bills, whatever that may be. And I don't really love doing that. Like I said, 99.9% of people don't love their jobs, and it doesn't, you know, and then, you know, you have the few people, not few, but when you compare it to the ratio of the people in the world, it is a few people. Even if it's 100,000 people, that's a few people compared to the billions of people in the world that really wake up every day and do what they love. And even those people, you know, wake up and go, I really don't want to do this shit anymore. I'm over it. You know, I was a professional photographer for 7 years, and then something happens in my life, and I was just like, I'm over it. It's okay. Like, it's okay to, you know, not love what you used to love anymore. But it's really important to have something that you know, you know, I feel like I'm going to say this, and there are going to be people who are like, what if I don't feel that way? What if I don't know what it is? I just come home and watch TV. Or, you know, like, I don't really have anything to do. And that's really hard. I guess it's hard for me to understand, because I've always, like, been busy, like a little busy bee. And I grew up, I have sisters, but I grew up the only child with my mom. And I always had to have something to do. Like, my mom she spent time with me, you know, but I was alone a lot of the time growing up. I was by myself a lot. So I always had to find something to do, whether it was at my Barbies or, you know, singing. I used to do my hair. I was braiding hair, like, really young. Like, I was just always, like, busy doing something. I gotta learn. I gotta do this. So it's really hard for me to understand somebody who's on the opposite scale of that. Like, that's why when you guys talk to me. I want to understand, like, what that's like, and, you know, kind of tap into that and, like, figure it out, because it just I find it so hard to believe that there's people that don't want to do like anything else besides go to work and come home. I just feel like that person doesn't exist. But then I feel like they do exist, because not everybody does it. So right, realistically, that exists. Like, I have to come to terms with that. But it's hard because I've never been like that. So, but if you're that person that, you know, you still feel like there's hope for yourself, and it's like, you know, you don't want to wake up feeling sad every day, definitely consider finding something that you like to do, even if it's like making bracelets, like whatever, you know, like whatever brings you joy. And like I said, gives you freedom, where you can share this thing with someone else. You can give it to someone and put a smile on their face. You can share it with people. Like, that is so rewarding. Like, that feeling is so priceless. Like, you can't even, you know, the butterflies I get every time I make a song. Like, it's like I can't wait to share that with somebody who went through this, maybe, or did not, or needs to know what that feels like, or just wants to you know, when I was growing up and I used to listen to music, the reason why I listened to music, I used to listen to music that make you want to kill yourself. Like Sade. Sade's great, don't get me wrong. But some people listen to Sade and are like, yo, this is depressing as fuck, right? Like, this shit is so sad. To me, it's beautiful. It is like rainbows, because it's like I'm connecting with that, you know, and I feel good. That makes me feel good. Like, that sadness and that low key, you know, heart-breaking, gut-wrenching, you broke my heart, I'm finished kind of music makes me feel good, because that's how I feel. So it's like the music is mirroring my feelings, and I feel comfort from that. And that's, you know, a lot of my music is the same way, because that's just what I like to make. That's what I like to do. Not everybody's cool with that. Some people want to feel music that makes them think about happy things, and I've challenged myself and tried to, excuse me, I challenged myself and tried to make music like that. It's hard. You know, there's room for improvement. But back to what I was saying, is you have to, you know, you gotta have something else. You know, even if you have siblings. I guess because I'm the only child, I always have to entertain myself. But I don't know. You know, I really think that is one of the keys to happiness. If that's what you're looking for, if that's what you, hopefully this is something you needed to hear. I wanted to share that because I thought that quote was really cool, and I'm gonna make it my business to use it to check myself and people around me. You know, share it with people who I talk to every day. You know, people who like complain about their lives. You know, I don't have too many people like that in my life. I'm not attracted to people like that, and I think people like that are not attracted to me. I don't know. I love everybody, but at the end of the day, you have a choice who you want to be around. So if you're that's another thing. Like, if you're around people who are negative and always complaining about their life, I mean, do you really think that you're going to find some type of motivation out of that? Because you really, you know, you can either get motivated by that, like make a conscious choice, like, oh, every time this person is negative, I'm gonna strive right out of it, you know, like you can think like that. But it's, you know, to me, it's more empowering to be around people who are saying, oh, I love my life, and this is what happened today, and it's like, ooh, exciting. You know, some people, like, everybody's different. So maybe people be like, fuck it, you telling me for? My life sucks. And some people may be like, really? What are you doing? And be interested. So it all depends on how you are. But listen, if you're a hater and you don't like hearing people's good news, you need to check yourself. Sorry. All love, coming from a good place. But you should be happy for people when they tell you happy things. You know, find out what they're doing. Talk to them. Those are people who are, you know, going to live longer, in my opinion. Or if, you know, well, you would hope so. Whatever. That's, you know, opinion, not fact. People die every day. So, my point is that don't be a hater. Check yourself. Love yourself. Be around people. I'd rather be around nobody than be around people who are negative. So either be around yourself if you're feeling positive. Hopefully you are. And just, you know, people who are negative, kind of like, okay. I hope you have a better day. Wish them well and send them on their way. I don't know. I just, people who come up to me, people come up to me at work and complain sometimes. And I'm not like, get the fuck out of my face. I don't say that. You know, but I just try to like, you know, whirl it around with some, I try to smack them with some positive, you know, positive talk. And that's it. You know, like, people are going to take it as they want to take it. I don't really care. But I'd be damned if I sit there and have a conversation with you complaining and then me complaining and you complaining. And it won't be for long. You know, I might just be, you know, talking with a friend of mine and we're just going back and forth. But it's finished. You know, it's like for a little while and it's finished. It's not something to get wrapped up in and have passion about. Like, don't be passionate about being negative. That's just whack. You know, does nobody any good. Okay, so have a good night.